Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. I want to share a little bit with you today in reference to, our community, our our village again, right? We are living in a time now that we got to set aside our differences, right? We got to forget about the fact that you live in this neighborhood and you do this. This is your belief system, whatever. We got to get rid of the differences and realize we need to join together. We need to come together so that we can be able to be a community, a village that could be strong enough to withstand storms. Storms, honey. Because we know storms coming. Some of y'all know that storms are already here, right? And when a storm comes, isn't it nice to know that you can rely on others to help you through a storm, to get you past, some bad times and situations that's happened in your life, right? I was sharing with my son earlier today. I was sharing with him, he was talking about children that come to the school. I said, but can you imagine what our children are going through? By the time they get to school and become school age, they are being, pumped to believe something that's sometimes not even true, which is dealing with making them feel inferior, incompetent, and unable to learn, right? And then our children believe what has been pumped into them, right? And been told to them, whether it's through a school system or through family members or through those who are surrounded by them, they're told to believe this. So they think they're learning too slow. They can't get into the grammar because it's not the way in which they speak. The history has been changed all around to believe that you have no history that's worth talking about. So you wonder why the children are affected the way they are affected, and they look for validation. They want to be valuable to somebody. They want to know that somebody is counting on them or relying on them to do something successful with their life. And even though we have some awesome children that go through the same kind of broken system, and they go through this broken system and they succeed because they learn, how to get through the maze. 'Cause it's a maze, honey. They get through those mazes, honey, that has been set up to block them from getting where they're supposed to be. And then they have strong structures at home, roots, honey, at home, that's able to help them to be able to see past, a lot of these detours and constructions and all this stuff that's happening. They can get past it because they got that knowledge that somebody's building into them, investing in them. I'm watching little children who are like 3 or 4 years old, who is capable of reading. Some of them can speak two languages at 3 and 4 years old. I watched a little boy who was able to do it by the time he was 5. You know, they call them geniuses. They call them, ooh, spectacular, spectacular. And in essence, all it was somebody investing in them. What are you investing into the children so that your village could be strong? Because the youth are your tomorrow. But if you have no youth who are skilled, intellectual, capable of seeing through the mess, what do you have in your village? Really? Who's going to take care of the older, the elders, the parents? A lot of our children are not even been raised by their parents. They've been raised by, grandparents and cousins and streets, systems that are broken. And then you wonder why by the time they're, 10, 11 years old, they're doing the most, right? I watched one of my children, one of my grandchildren, and I watched them, and I was trying to sing a song that I sung when we were coming up. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And I said on the farm, and I would point to each one of the children, to choose an animal on the farm. Had a cow, goes moo, pig goes oink, duck goes quack, waiting on that. And one of the children said something that was totally off. I'm like, now, before I could, change the atmosphere in which I was trying to, commit us into, I checked it within. And I kept singing the song the way it's supposed to be sung. But the look I gave the child was, don't do that again, right? But then I'm thinking, what in the world is happening to our children, right? Where are they pulling all this stuff from? Where they getting this stuff, this information from, right? It's sad, right? Because they go to school and listen to other children talk about things that's going on inside of their home, and it blows your mind. I was sharing with a young lady this morning who had, called me on a 911, you know, and she was sharing with me some things that was going on, and I said, honey, I remember probably, good gracious, 15 years ago, give or take, that I had a situation go on and I didn't know anything about it, and it blew my mind. The children was thinking like that at 5, 6, and 7 years old. What are they seeing? What are they hearing? Because see, the children that are succeeding in this life, in this world, the parents have removed the television. They get an hour of it maybe. But the TV is not raising the children. So they're not worrying about what they're watching, because what they're watching is what they want them to watch. Right? So there's no TV. They don't have all these game systems that they got to play on all day long to keep them busy, keep them occupied. So you don't have to do any work. Just throw them somewhere and watch whatever these little shows are. Some of these shows that's not even appropriate for children because it's a cartoon. You throw it in front of them, and then you wonder why the children, it's all over the place. Nothing is structured and sound, right? So what do you expect to happen in your community when what's happening with our children is not sound? It's not positive, right? They're not giving the right kind of equipment and tools to be. I was teaching parenting classes probably over 20 years ago, and I was facilitating this class, and hear parents talk about how bad their children are, but you in the class, not the children. Now you in the class, and then they never caught that, right? You're in the class, but you're talking about how bad your children are. You in this class. So where you think bad behavior came from? What kind of tools do you have to, counteract the bad behavior? Because you in the class, and it is a court appointed class, which says to me and should have said to you that you have the possibility of your children being removed from your home based on your parenting skills. And now they have been appointed to the class, but you know how many should be in class and have not been appointed or caught, or visited? This is what our children go through. They have parents, possibly, that may be in the home. There may be just one in the house. They may have parents that have been incarcerated or, in prison, possibly even, have passed from criminal lifestyle. I mean, this is not all, but I'm trying to give you a picture of our community and the help we need, because we need help, honey. We need help. We need help. And I believe it must begin, with us, so that we can be able to instill better within our children or grandchildren, right? You know, parents want to still, parents want to still party with the children, or they want to party so they ain't got time for the children, right? Because they were so young having the children. That's their excuse why they can't, be, efficient, and do what you're supposed to do. Because one thing about it, children was not asked to be here. We brought them. But then we don't want to sacrifice our life because we brought them. Doesn't make sense. There's a scripture that says, when I was a child, I thought like a child, act like a child. But when I became grown, I put away the childish things. Right? There were some things, even though I was young having children, 19, 21, 20, 20, 24. I was young having all three of my children, but there was still a line in the place that I would not cross because I had children, right? Some things I could not do because I had children. I knew I was young, but I also knew I was a mother. And the two could come together and live safely. I'm a mother with children. Isn't it a blessing? It's such a wonderful thing for me. I love being a mother. I was a mother before I became one. I was a mother probably when I was about 10, 11 years old, taking care of somebody else's children, putting diapers on them, honey. We didn't have Pampers back then, putting diapers on children, feeding them with the bottle, making sure they were clean, all that kind of stuff. I was doing that, honey, when I was young. So by the time I started having my children, honey, I couldn't wait till I could have my own and do the different things I wanted to do, you know? But then now, our children, the things they're facing, is our community safe for our children? Is our village exactly what we want it to be? So that our children can feel safe? Do they feel secure? Are they educated? Do they know how to move in this community, in this village, safely and powerfully? Because I'm definitely not trying to spread you with no fear, honey. Because I don't do fear, honey. I don't do fear factors. I'm not a fear monger. Okay? So I'm not talking about no fear, afraid to move. No. I'm talking about safely moving. Where places you should not be. Not because you're afraid of the place, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you to be over there. I was sharing with a young lady today. I said, look, honey, when my children was growing up, they said, Mama, can I go stay at so-and-so's house? They were little, honey, not 8, 9, whatever. No, I don't know them. And I definitely don't know the parents. So no, you're not going. They go to wine, but it don't last long, honey. I don't do wines, honey. Let me tell you something. I don't know those people. So I don't know what's going to happen in that house. I can't control what happens in that house because it's not mine. But now if you want her or him spend some time with you, come over to my house. They can come stay over here. Now, sometimes that was okay with them. A lot of times it wasn't because they knew over their house there's freedom, honey. Over their house they could do stuff they knew they couldn't do here. Over their house, they could wild out. They couldn't do that here. Over their house, honey, they could get down and get busy. They couldn't do it here. So, never mind, Mama. I know. I want to set the premise just like that. You can't go everywhere. Some woman across the street one time talking about my little girl coming to the house, she was about maybe 10. Come in the house and said to me, Mama, Miss whoever she was across the street wants to know, can I come over there and help her clean her house or sweep her floor? I said, can you go over there and do what, honey? She said she gonna pay me, Mama. I said she gonna pay you to sweep her floor and help clean her house. Yes, ma'am. I said, and you don't even do it here. So how she figured you gonna do it over there? First of all, she ain't got a business asking you Jack City. That's one. That's off. That's already off. What's she asking you? Can she go over there and clean? You got a mama, a full grown one too. She should be asking me. But she knew not to ask me that stupid question, right? So she gonna send you over here. Answer is absolutely no. And on top of that, don't go over there no more. Because I don't know what her intentions is. Some grown woman asking a little child to come over there and sweep her floor. What's wrong with her? Ain't nothing wrong with her. I'm watching her every day out there doing, raking leaves, almost picking up a truck. So she gonna ask you, nah, I don't know what her intentions are. I don't know what she's planning on doing with you. Because you ain't ready for that. No, ma'am. You ain't going. And if I see her, I'm gonna ask her why she asking you. No. See, you got to watch, honey, everybody. Everybody with your children. Who, honey? Shh, please. Now you can't catch everything. But honey, what you trying to pay attention to, honey? Pay attention to it. Because these children, honey, are being sold, given, left, abandoned, mistreated, abused, neglected, hurt around people who they are entrusting to take care of them and to love them. This is happening more than every day. Like within minutes of each other. This is happening. with our children. And you wonder why when they get to school, they acting out. When they get to school, they got their heads down. When they get to school, they look like they've been thrown away. When they get to school, they can't focus because what they're dealing with at home, you know, what they had to deal with on the way going to school. Our village, our community isn't safe for our children until we come together and make it safe because we can do that. There was a time that everybody looked after everybody's children. You remember that? Good gracious, I love it, honey. My son said to me, he's mom, I miss the village. I said, oh, what you talking about, honey? Yes, sir. Anybody could correct your children. See, sometimes we get to a place we don't want nobody saying nothing to our children. And see, when you set that up, you already done messed up right there. You know, I had people who call me and call me on the phone and say, I just saw your son over such a place. He was doing thus and thus. I told him, I'm going to call you and tell you. I said, I'm so glad you did. And when they crossed that daggone step, so you call yourself trying to do thus and thus and thus? Oh, no. Before you lie, honey. Before you lie. Before you lie now. You know I can't stand a liar now. Before you lie, know that I already know. You know I wouldn't be asking you this question if I don't already know. Don't lie to me. Why are you doing thus and thus and thus? Because, you know, honey, I was a strict mother, but I ain't had no perfect kids. Because I wasn't a perfect mother either, right? You know, I did the best I could. But what I'm saying to you is, anybody had the right that I knew in my village to correct my children and tell my children, go right here. Your mama gonna know about the time you get home. And one of the rules I had, don't let nobody call me when I'm at work. Because if I get a phone call at work telling me about something that y'all can't act like in school, you can't act right in school, I get a phone call. I said, I'm coming. But I got to take off from work and lose some hours from work to come and correct you because you don't know how to act in school. And I know you know how to act. Hey, honey, yes, sir. It's going to be a time at the school and it's going to be a time when I get home. And they knew it. You know? Because I didn't send you to school act a fool, honey. I sent you there to learn something. Pay attention, honey, to everything. Okay? I had one of my children. He did something one day. And I said, oh, teacher said, yeah, cause he gets so uncontrolled. He goes to shaking so bad. He's throwing chairs and stuff. I said, he throws chairs? She said, oh yeah. He starts shaking. He can't control himself. I said, he can't control himself. Really? He's throwing chairs? He does this in your class? She said, yes. I'll be there. He's throwing chairs, honey. My baby throws chairs because he can't control himself. Let me go to the school, help him out. I go to that school, honey, knocks on that door. I said, hi, I'm so-and-so's mama. You just called me. Oh, yeah. And she told the child, oh, your mother should go out. I said, no, ma'am. Can I have your class? Because I don't want to come outside. I want to. Look, he's demonstrating in your class. I want to demonstrate too. Can I have your class 5 minutes? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, okay. I pulled him up out of the chair. I said, she said that you can't control yourself in this class, that you can't control yourself, so you throwing chairs. I said, do you throw chairs at home? No, ma'am. I said, you can't control yourself? Yes, ma'am. I said, no. You can't control yourself because I'm here. Why am I here, honey? You can control yourself. With that look on that face, I said, oh, no, ma'am. No, sir. No, sir, honey. I don't want to see a tear, baby. Because, see, you telling these people that you are unable to control yourself, and this is the behavior you exhibit at home. And we know that ain't true, right? He said, yes, ma'am. I plucked him side for here and jacked him up. I said, don't you ever let me come to this. And I did it in front of the class, right? Because I want to embarrass him, because he embarrassed me to have to come out here. When I got done releasing him from that shirt, told him go sit his tail down in there. I said, now, class, my son knows how to act in class. Don't you, baby? Yes, ma'am. I say in class, his mama don't play. Do you, honey? No, ma'am. Oh, tears was falling in. He's embarrassed. I ain't care. I said, now, do I got to come back to class again, class? They were looking at me. They said, no, ma'am. I said, thank you. I looked at him. I said, now you going to act rest of the day? Yes, ma'am. I walked on out of that classroom. I didn't care if he got teased the rest of the day, the rest of the year, or the rest of his life. I wanted to set a premise. I guarantee you one thing, honey. I never had to go back to that class, to that school for him again. Because he never wanted to see me come to school. Because I said, if I come to the school, I ain't come for the teacher, honey. I'm coming for you. Now, I will come for the teacher now. If they don't mess around and start messing with you and they off, I'm coming for them too. Principal, teacher, resource officer, policeman, I don't care. I'm coming. If you're right, you got me. If you're wrong, I got you. The village. You understand me? And when we came up, honey, anybody's child that you knew, their parents, you could tell them, all right, girl, if you don't get your, sit down and the mother never called you and said, what you doing? Tell them, never called you and said that. The father never said, yeah, I'm not, yeah, I heard you told, we didn't get nobody knocking your door and telling you stuff like that, honey. They appreciated you. If anything, when they saw you, they bringing you gifts. Somebody thinks, I appreciate you being there. You know, this is how the village is. Your community was strong like that. When we started having children, they forgot about the strength because you're not old enough to be a parent, even though you are one. So you haven't learned the lessons that you're supposed to learn because you're still a child, immature, trying to be grown. And because of that, you don't want nobody to tell you what to do because you think you're grown because you had a child. Right? And that now you're trying to push out the grandparents or your help from your community because now you think you got it and you don't. You need them because you're not really ready for what you're trying to get into. 12, 13, 14 years old. You know, you ain't ready for this, honey. And that you just birthed, you ain't ready for that either. You know, somebody trying to tell you, hold the head up, baby. I got it. Ooh. Don't forget to burp them. I burped them. When you change it, make sure you do it. Oh, okay. But honey, the community, the village, honey, give me here. I'll take them. You go ahead and do what you got to do. You burping, you change it, you get them all fixed up because you knew that they wasn't ready. You knew they were still trying to learn. So you helped them. Not criticize, honey. You helped them. And they was appreciative of your help, honey. They didn't beat you because of that. But now today, honey child, shut your mouth and keep on talking. It's a mess, ain't it? Right? We got to build it, honey. I don't know, what we can do, but I'm constantly snatching and grabbing hold of people who want to learn how to be better. What can I do? Tell me. Because they want to be better. They want to do better. They want to see their children succeed. They see what's happening and they want to know how can I avoid this from being, worse. Sit around there, honey, and try to figure out how to build a garden, preserve, food, how to stock up. And people are teaching you now how to do different things that you need in this climate that we're in right now, right? And there are people who said, "You show me. And for those, show them. Because sometimes, that there are people who are going to ignore you. It could be family, honey. It could be your own children. It could be your own grandchildren. They're not ready. But there's somebody's child, somebody's grandchild, somebody's neighbor who wants what you got. Honey, invest in them. Pour in them. Do what you can. Because it's needed. We need to strengthen our communities, our villages, our children for what's about to come. Right? So that they can be able to withstand. What they say, to be able to withstand any evil times, when the times get rough, you can be able to withstand it because you done got some strong roots, honey. A a whole lot of powerful knowledge that's going to help you be better. You know, take hold of that stuff. I wish I knew half the stuff I knew. Today, I wish I knew it back then, but I didn't. But now that I have it, I can sit here and say, let me help you. Let me show you. Oh, yeah, I seen that. Here, you know, I told a young lady today, honey, look, she said, I just feel so bad. I wish, honey, look, you cannot do anything about yesterday. You can't control yesterday. You can't control anything you did not know. Nobody can beat you for what you did not know. But you can beat your own self for it. But you'll get tired one day of doing that. Don't beat yourself for something you didn't know. But now that you know, now you move forward from there. Don't worry about, honey, what you didn't know. You know, yeah, because look, you're a parent. You know, we make a whole lot of mistakes, but we learn from lessons, baby, lessons. Everything's about lessons. We're learning. You know, I'm still learning, but I got some stuff too. Remember that. Don't allow somebody else to make you feel bad for mistakes that you have made that you was not aware of. You didn't know. You didn't know if you put this with that, it was going to turn out to be this until you did it. And then you say, oh gosh. But now when once you learn it, you don't have to do that anymore, right? That's all you can do. Okay? Don't let nobody beat you about mistakes that you made in your life. Those are your mistakes. You know, good, bad, indifferent. They are your mistakes. You take them, put them in a jar, close it up, lay it to the side. Every once in a while, you look at it and say, okay, I remember that. I won't do that again. But don't look at that and beat yourself over and over again about it. If so, throw away your jar. Because it's a reminder that you don't need. This is awesome. Thank you so much for your day, for your moment, and your time. And I hope it's been informative for you. I just only want to help you see truths, see power, to be enlightened, so you can understand that nothing can defeat you without your help. Other than that, honey, you got this. You got this. Now go out there, honey, and figure out where you fit in this community, in this village, and then get your gainfully position and make it work so you can help rally in those that need a part of your life and those lives that you need to be a part of to help strengthen your village, your community, your place, your position, so we all can be able to weather storms that's about to come. All right? Have a powerful day. You be awesome in everything you do. Let your light so shine. I love you. Be blessed. Have an awesome day. Thank you.